Today I come out to the beach to just enjoy some quiet time, kind of get my thoughts together, spend a moment with God. Out here, and you see the storm brewing in the background. It made me think of an experience I had here at the ocean that kind of defines my faith and my belief, and I want to share that with you today. I want to share my faith. We came out one evening, my wife and my son Caleb, here to the beach, and it was off season, so the beach was quiet. We had it to ourselves, and I was enjoying the water, being in it by myself, just the rolling waves, and just in awe of what God had created. And after about 15 minutes, I look up to the shore just to see where Kathy was, and I don't see her. In fact, that's not where I entered the water. I was a good 50 yards or more down the shore, whether the current and the waves had pulled me away from where I had entered. And there's Kathy down the shore waving at me. She can see me looking. It was kind of in this moment, just to me, that God delivered a message. And He talked about this living water behind me, this ocean, that it is a lot like our lives, in that what had taken me down the shore, off my path, where I had entered, that these waves and the current are much like what happens to us in life. The waves that crash on the shore, the waves that push you in the water, God told me that those were like our real problems, our addictions, whether it be a drug addiction, or you're fighting an illness, or you're having problems with your marriage, something big in life, you're struggling with something financially, something big in life that is really impacting you. That's what those waves represent. And He told me that the current that had pulled me down the shore as well, that current that flows in the ocean is much like life. When we get caught up in the world, when we're not attending church or finding fellowship, when we're worshiping false idols like our income or our social status, that we've put God in the back seat and not in the driver's seat. We've fallen asleep in the wheel, fallen asleep in our faith. That current of life will pull us away. And it was kind of in this moment that I saw a hand reach out across the water, over the waves towards me. And I know that I didn't physically see a hand, but it couldn't have been any more clear than if it was real, that I had seen it with my spirit. And that hand reached out for me, and there was a whisper in my ear, and just like I hadn't physically seen the hand, I didn't physically audibly hear a voice, but again, just like I said, it couldn't have been any more clear. I'd heard it again with my spirit. And there was a voice, and it said, "Walk with me on the water." That when we find ourselves in troubled waters, and the current is swift, and the waves are tall and crashing, that God waits for us there to help us find our way back to our path. That if you were struggling with something today, whether it's the waves, whether it's the current, if you have fallen asleep in your faith, or you're battling something and you just lose your vision, that God reaches out for you. You don't have to find God. You may have to find you, but God is already reaching out to help you walk on the water. And I know we don't physically walk on the water. I know Peter had that opportunity in Matthew, where Jesus came to meet them on the boat, and He came on the water, came out to meet them, and they were scared. He saw this guy walking on the water. Who is this? And God, I don't know, Christ could sense their fear and called out that it was Him. And Peter said, "If it is really you, Jesus, call me to you. Make me walk on the water." And Christ did. He said, "Come." And Peter walked on the water. But just like us, who are broken, who struggle with our faith, I do, Peter sank. After walking on the water, he sank. And Christ, it says that Christ grabbed him. So Christ reached out for him. That's, God led me to that passage after I had the experience on the beach. And it was a message that God wanted me to deliver. That that He reaches out for us. You don't have to find Christ. When you are struggling, He is there for you. Find you and you will find God. Don't struggle in that living water, the life that we live in. Because you're Christian doesn't make life easy. It's just you don't have to struggle on your own. And there's an answer. Prayer, Christ, take His hand today if you're struggling with something and walk on the water. God bless.